Hello, my people. Welcome back to another video. This one, alright, I don't want to go into too much of the in-depths of guys and what girls experience when they're looking for a potential partner, but it's going to be another one of them. This time, I want to cover the subject of guys. There's some weirdo guys out there, definitely. There is definitely those pushy guys that don't take accountability, even if they know they're doing something wrong. They don't accept their mistake, right? They just push on and on. That's what I've seen. And they're quite like attention seeking, they're quite immature, and they need some kind of validation. You know, it can be personal, it can be from you, it can be from your resources. They just need some validation, so they're very, very pushy to get what they want. And when you reject them over and over again, they kind of reject the idea of being rejected. They don't want to accept it even. This is usually the types that are like kind of good looking guys, because maybe one of the reasons is because their confidence is so high to the point where they think they can get away with everything, right? You can see them around, because once you get above like the 6 out of 10 and that kind of range as a guy in society, your confidence goes up. When it goes up too much, this is the result pretty much. You just become too confident. Like, you can't make a mistake. You can't, people can't reject you because so many people do accept you and do give you validation. So there's this kind of vibes. I don't know. There's this kind of expecting that is wrong with society these days. With women as well, we've seen many of them, because they get the most validation on social media compared to good-looking guys. Usually it's that way. It's only when you become above an 8 out of 10 as a guy is when you start getting a lot of validation online. But with women, you can be even a 4 out of 10, you still will get a high amount of validation. That's the difference. That is the difference. My generation, Gen Z, probably is more aware of this, and they're kind of taking steps back on dating, on being on social media, deleting the apps, deleting the dating apps and whatnot. It's just manipulation, and they see through it. And I'm glad about that. I'm glad that that's the current ways. What can I say personally? I've seen this in relationships as well. I've seen the guy that is too kind of fake dominant. He's not got that classy bit of him whatsoever. It's usually those types of guys that are pushy, perverted, I'd say that too. Just manipulative, controlling, weird, and they're very, very validation seeker. They're very end result, output seeker. So they prioritize whatever the output is. It could be looking good to family members. It can be looking good to friends. They'll prioritize that over the relationship. We are definitely living in a weird era. There's no doubt about that. There is a lot of conflict between people, conflict between the two genders, of just existing and how we should act as each our genders and whatnot. So many debates and whatnot, which in the past there was always as well, but these days there's a lot of self-centeredness. A lot, I think. I don't know. I can't judge to say if social media caused this or if it increased it. I don't know. I don't have anything to back it up. I just see that social media definitely affected more women than guys. definitely when it comes to the currency of attention. When it comes to attention, there's a lot less guys that want to seek attention than there is women. I don't know what the reason to that is. It's just the way it is. And it's caused and still causing a lot of women to become very shallow, self-centered, talk about their opinions as if they are facts, straight up, be very reckless with what they push out, what kind of content they make, and be very judgmental and harsh over people making a mistake. Like some guy makes a mistake on a date, maybe a family member talks in a wrong way and it's offended her nature in some way. They take it to social media usually, which is bad. You should only be usually taking it to social media if you're sure about something. So if it's been a while and you're kind of sure about something, then yeah, you can do. And return of investment, that is what a lot of people are focusing on. Before, in the past, you would kind of socialize with somebody with less expectation than now. Now there is, are you clicking? Are you giving me what you want? You're not giving me what you want? All right, we're not going to socialize then. Why should we socialize? There's no reason to talk. If I can't get you, let's say, pregnant, why should we talk? I'm not going to talk to some 40, 50-year-old woman for 1 month for no reason. There's that kind of attitude. It's not only from one person, from one, age range, maybe some people more than others, but people in general are like this, operating in this way. And so the topic is, guys, when it comes to men, I know there's some weirdo men. There is some men that are inconsiderate, reckless, don't take accountability, childish, and they hang around bars, clubs all the time, like on a regular basis. And they go on holiday. One time I went on holiday, I think 5 years ago, something like that. And this guy, he had blue eyes. He was brunette, blue eyes, and he looked like from northern Turkey pretty much. I was in Turkey at the time and I went on a bus journey. And what he did was, his primary focus on that job was to pick up women. There's nothing wrong with this except if it's your only focus. Like this guy's only focus, anything outside of the job, was this. That's it. Literally, that's it. That's why it was shallow, dead, and you get validation. He gets validation in his position because he's good looking, he's handsome, he's, I'd say, roughly 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. Good, great. He's not amazing. He's definitely not amazing. Like, women are not going head over heels for him, but he's good. Women, some of them definitely do want him, especially the ones that are available. So if you base, in general, whether you're good looking or not good looking, if you base your hard work on trying to pick up a woman, it makes you very empty as a man. You're very empty as a man. You're very immature as a man, because he's not even focused on the let's connect. He's so focused on, how do I get with these women? How do I get with this specific woman? How can I make some kind of flirty jokes and whatnot, banter, and then let's get into the business side of things. That's the problem. That is what I'm saying, making clear here. The business side of things, seeing it as like an end goal rather than, and also getting to know someone just by sleeping with them is just a big red flag. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. This is what I believe. This is my strong belief. I've seen too much. I've seen a lot of evidence that support this. If it's in your primary efforts, if it's in your best interest to get to know someone, that's how you get to know someone. That's how you think you get to know someone, by sleeping with them. You've lost your head. That's what I believe. How do I know this? Because I had slept with someone before, and it didn't make me get to know them much more. Like, if I was to add it on to how much I knew about her before, it would be 3%, 5%, maximum, let's say 8% of my total knowledge and understanding of who she is, which is nothing. For me, 8% maximum is minuscule compared to how much I already knew and felt and understood about her habits, the way that she thinks, whatnot. That was, a massive piece of the pie that was unrelated to being in bed with her. So that's what it is. It feels good. Men that chase things that feel good, they don't, usually these kinds of men, they don't care about how the woman reacts to them. So they're very, very persistent. She's not feeling the vibes. She's not wanting to be around you. She's made it clear. Still pushing on, and I'll be dominant and I'll get in. And she's trying to clarify that, look, like, whether she's being rude or nice, she doesn't want any of it, and he's not getting it. He's not being manly. That's not a manly thing to do. It's quite immature to chase desire. Feeling good. Because that's not a man's life. A man's life is not desire, feeling good. So you're going to have to, be considerate, 100%. Maturity's large part is being considerate. It's critical. It's not optional whatsoever. So he doesn't in that position. He's very, it is quite self-centered as well. The better looking you become as a man or a woman in general, I've seen both cases, the more self-centered you become. The more you want things to run around you. It's true. I've felt that a bit, definitely, when I got validation very recently, about this last 1 year. I've been around in the scale of 6 out of 10, and I've seen the impacts of that. It does make you quite confident. You're like, wow, I'm actually being accepted by quite a few people now around me. And even chased, like people are genuinely jealous of me because I rejected them, because I was, I don't know what to call it, friendly around them, and they didn't want that friendly type. They were flirting with me and I was just friendly with them, and that pissed them off. That's what happened to me. I won't get into the details of it, but it's in my residence currently here. And that's the kind of things I saw. Before, I didn't have any kind of experience. I don't remember when I had this kind of experience. Obviously, also what else happens is if you get into a relationship, people become jealous and people want you more when you get into a relationship. That didn't happen to me currently, but that's also known by people. So that topic of this kind of men being childish, adamant, and just chasing and being inconsiderate, it's not manly whatsoever. I don't see this as manly. I see it as childish. And what's my input? My input is, they're like, if I fail 50 times and I succeed 5 times, then that's a win. That's fantastic. I'm like, that's not really so much of a win, because you made 30 or 40 women uncomfortable. That's not a win. If you manage to do that without making 30, 40 uncomfortable, let's say you made 10 of them, 15 of them uncomfortable, that's better, that's good. You're being considerate. They don't care about considerate, they care about end result. That's like one of the main problems. So this kind of end result men, they are walking red flags. They are walking red flags in any woman's life in general, because this guy, of course, he hasn't matured as himself. He doesn't know himself. There's that as well. And also they are too much goal driven, way too much. So even if he gets with you, it's going to be on to another goal, onto another goal, onto another goal. That's not normal. I don't care what guy tells you, like which guy tells you this. It's not normal that he wants to go after. And I'm not talking like 5 years later he wants to go after another woman. I'm not talking about that. That's kind of normal in a man's nature, believe it or not. I'm talking about this guy is like that every 3 months, every 6 months. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous. Some even after 1 month. After 1 month of getting with a woman, let's say you're in a relationship, you're looking for another one. That's just insane to me. It's insane. So their hunger never drops. Okay, when they get a bit, they want to continue getting, and it's a never-ending hole. So if you're with a man like this, doesn't matter how he looks like, he can be a 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10. He's gonna be never satisfied, never peace, never happiness, never just feeling at one with himself, with you, with connected. Nah, not at all. It's a filthy way to live. It's a way that is degrading. 100% is degrading, both to himself and to you as well, to be in that position, like a side dish, continuously trying to connect with this person, but you can't. That's the main problem here. Being a side dish is not the main problem, in my opinion. The main problem is you're expecting to connect with this person, you're not. So this guy is, some people might call it emotionally unavailable. True. That's also correct. Doesn't mean all emotionally unavailable men are toxic men. Doesn't mean that either. But a good 70% of them are toxic. They just onto one, onto the other, it just never ends. It never ends. It's just a never-ending hole. Guard yourself, protect your peace. Goes both for men and women. Understand yourself, and when you understand yourself, when you stay alone in solitude for enough period of time, for 2 years, some people for 5 years, you will become, that's enough experience of being alone, and you will know yourself a lot better. So when you pick out someone, it's going to be significantly better. But you also need to keep in mind of your age. You don't have unlimited time remaining. You need to get things going, get the ball rolling, even if it's with, you think this guy's not the best, this guy's kind of a friend zone guy, still try with him, I recommend. And get the ball rolling, get it rolling. However, don't say you commit to him. Don't. When you get the ball rolling, don't be like, you are the love of my life, we're together forever now, blah, 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 blah. Don't do that, because if you find someone better, because it will probably happen. Because the one that you picked, doesn't matter if he's in the friend zone or not, or just like a situationship, he's not going to be love of your life or anything like that, for sure. Obviously, for most people it's that way. I'm used to seeing that. So be patient, accept the opposite gender in your life. That's what I'm trying to do as well. But not saying that you are the love of my life, I want a future with you. Even if I'm in love with them, I won't say this. I'll just make it that let's live together, for example. I'm very happy to do that. We live together, we buy this, we buy that. Small things, not very big investments whatsoever. Never. For a good 3 years, 4 years, whenever I feel like, okay, yeah, I want to spend more of my life with you, then I like to show that I'm serious with her. But no marriage, no engagement, no nothing. I don't plan to. Just living together. Happiness. I'm not looking around with any other girls. That would be, giving my rest of my time to her. That's what it means. But during the 3 years, 4 years, whatever that I'm living with her, I will be looking at other women as well. And she can as well look at other guys. I find that completely normal. And I think that is one of the best ways to find a good person in your life. It doesn't have to be partner, it's just a good person in your life. That's the whole purpose. Not to, increase your statistics, your kind of rating in society. Or I was 6 out of 10, I'm 8 out of 10 now because I had in bed with 20 different women in this year, in this past month. Just, these are stuff that doesn't really matter. What matters is, of course, experimenting, going through some options, okay, but your filter system has to be amazing. Absolutely crucial. Doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth, filter system is number one priorities of connecting with anyone. So give them the chance. Give them chance again. But when you see there's something up, never commit too much to anyone. Let that be a golden rule in your head, in your mind. Doesn't matter where it goes into. Be a golden rule, please. Because commitments make people that you realize are bad for you later, you realize bad for you. Because this happened to me, definitely. So I'm just saying it to you. In my past relationship, I stopped this though. This happened more so with my cousins and parents. That's the lesson I'm learning from. With my ex, I cut it in a reasonably good time. 6 months, 7 months into a relationship. But family took me a bit of a while. And I accepted too much. So don't commit too much of your stuff, of your money, of your energy, and don't let them into your life too often, into your friend circle too often. Even if you are in love with them, later on, maybe 3 months later, 6 months later, 1 year later, you might realize that they are a manipulative and toxic person. Then you will have an easier time to cut them off. You can have easier time. When you've invested a lot, cutting them off becomes difficult. And some people are able to do it. Some people are just, they don't have that skill. They don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to actually be like, nah, I don't want to be with you. It's finished. And you're going to get a lot of retaliation as well. If someone is toxic, they're a sociopath, there's something, then they will retaliate. They will attack if you try to leave them. So if you have not committed too much with them, even if they insist, don't commit with them much, then they will have very low leverage over you in anything. They can't say anything basically if you say, I don't want to really see you these days anymore. I'm just not feeling it. I don't want to be with you anymore. That's pretty much it. Literally, even if you're blank and bold and cold like that, it would still be good and accepted, completely accepted, because you haven't committed much. There's no money on the line. There's no children on the line. There's no ring. There's nothing on the line. So it's just bye-bye. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next.